The word on the street right now is that, listen, the whole banking crisis is over. Everything is fine. Everything is peachy keen. You're going to be okay. If you had money in one of these banks, you as a depositor is completely insured by the U.S. government. Whether it's over $250,000 or whether it's under $250,000, it doesn't matter. We're going to make sure that you're okay. There's always been banks throughout history that have failed, and not in any particular economic crisis. If a bank goes out and they invest your money that you have deposited in a, risky fashion, there have been banks, onesies and twosies, that have fallen and collapsed. And, you're either insured or you're not. See, that's how a capitalist society has worked. There's winners and losers. If you don't do the due diligence, if you don't do the research on where you're putting your money, there's a chance you could lose your money. About 20 years ago, give or take, there started being this mentality where every kid gets a trophy. And those kids and those adults are now running, some of the kids are now in that workforce. Those kids who were taught that mentality at age 10, 12 years old, whatever. And those kids are now in the workforce. And the parents who pushed that mentality, every kid gets a trophy, are now running things in a large segments of society. That's why you have no losers today, because there will be no losers. We want every kid to get a trophy. This is where this comes from. There will be no losers in the banking crisis. No matter where you are, no matter where you put your money, no matter how the bank has invested, good or bad, it doesn't matter. We're going to make sure everybody is insured on their deposits. There will be no losers. Everyone will get a trophy. There's no losers in competition. Do you remember this like 20 years ago or so? I mean, leave a comment below if you had kids back then and they were like, oh yeah, my kid came in like 17th place but still got a participation trophy. You're a loser. A loser. See, we don't have losers today. And so what they're going to do, all right, going back to the banking crisis, is they're going to basically print off all this money. Okay, they've lost money because of higher interest rates in these funds, these bonds and stuff like that. They can't make money. They're completely underwater. So what they're going to do is they're going to print quantitative easing, and they're going to bail out all these banks. And no matter what, they've completely quashed the panic that has happened out there by letting everyone know, don't worry, you're okay. Your money is good. If you had money in SVB or First Republic or wherever, Swiss, Credit Suisse, doesn't matter. We got you. You're going to be covered. You're fine. And how they're going to do that is money printer go burr. This is why I told you that the end result of this is hyperinflation. And already the talking heads on the news media and all these other places are like, whoa, what does this mean for inflation? It means it's going to go crazy. Hyperinflation. You're going to watch your money continue to be inflated away. If you think, because they're telling you on the news, that inflation is around 6% right now. I've seen business owners on the media. They're like, yeah, I know they're saying 6%, but me as a business owner, I'm telling you right now, it's way higher than 6%. Me, the cost of doing business, the cost of paying my employees, I have to increase my wages for my employees. Do you think a year from now, because the Fed's like, we're determined to get everything down to a 2% inflation rate. Do you think these employees are going to want to go back down with lesser wages a year from now? Heck no. There's no way. Absolutely no way that these employees can be like, oh yeah, I'll take a pay cut in about a year when inflation goes down. It's not going to happen. There's a fly in here. What in the world? It's springtime. It's one of the things I hate about warmer weather is flies coming in the house. I ordered some more fly bait to put in my fly traps, and they're not here yet. We'll do a video on that coming up. I got these metal fly traps that you can use year after year, and you just need to get some really stinky bait to put them out there, and they'll draw the flies away from the house. It's fantastic. I will do a video on that for you homesteaders out there, because if you got animals, if you got chickens, you got flies. There's just no way about it around it. So all that to say, is that, yes, hyperinflation is in your future. Massive hyperinflation. That's going to be the end result of this. You know, you might see some stagflation here and there, meaning you have some deflationary events that happen along with that. But the end result at the end of the day is going to be hyperinflation. And listen, the good news about all of this is I'm seeing it. And I'm going to, again, I've doubled down in the last video. I'm going to double down in this video and in subsequent videos that I don't believe there's some kind of grand master plan to reset and to put massive control on the population. I know that's popular out there right now, but the reality is if you think that a man can have periods, you're dumb, you're stupid, and if you really believe that, the system is going to collapse. And the leaders of our world right now, the leaders of the Western world really believe men can have periods. And if they have that level of intelligence, it will collapse. And that's a good thing, because with that level of collapse, with that level of stupidity leading to that collapse, they can't enact the controls that they want to enact on you. And so really the only way listen, we're not going back to America, pre 2019. We're not going back there. We are completely and totally screwed at this point. So what are you going to do? You want it to collapse. That's the only way out of this. That's the only way we get to the other side, because when a collapse happens, you can rebuild and, actually rebuild better. So, I mean, collapse is the best thing that can happen for us right now. We need it. So how do you get through that? There's always going to be, we're going to do another video on barter, but there's always going to be a barter system, okay, in place. There's always going to be people you can trade with. And so the way you harden up your targets right now is figure out the things that you can use to get through this collapse that is coming. And the way you do that is go back and look at historically how things have done that before, how things have unfolded for humanity in the times past when collapses, economy collapses, military collapses have happened. Because usually when a collapse happens, war follows with it. And we have all this stuff going on in the South China Seas. We have Taiwan. Major news coming out, not really talked about, but big news coming out, how Australia is really putting a lot of money in their Navy and their naval bases lately, because they see that war is on the horizon. They see that the encroachment of China on their shipping. And there's a lot. Someone I watched a video of recently said, we haven't really had major acts of piracy on the high seas in so long. I forgot how many years it was, but it's been a long time. It's since the 1950s or what. I don't know what, maybe longer than that, because the United States Navy and the British Navy have really helped make, there's been, the Somali pirates and things like that, little things here and there, but nothing really major where major shipping has had a major interruption from a major power. It just does not happen. And the British Navy is a shell of what it once was. Our Navy is really the only Navy out there keeping the shipping lanes open and free. Anyway, all that to say is that look at times throughout history, how things have collapsed and how things have unfolded, and then prepare accordingly. Food storage, things for barter and trade. Understanding getting out of highly dense populated areas. Okay, populated areas do not do well when it comes to food and crime and all of these things. So those are the things I highly recommend. And that's one of the reasons I recommend, again, I'll beat this drum until no one else is listening to me or everyone else has got it down. But gold and silver, and people who always leave comments, oh, you can't eat gold and silver. Bull crap. You're so full of crap. You have no idea of history. I'm going to show you this thing real quick. This is a modern day penny. Okay. It's got a copper plating. It's made of zinc. It's a modern day penny. Okay. This is a penny made in 1956. This is a copper penny. See, if you had back in the 1950s, if you had a copper penny, if you had 10 of these, you had a silver dime made of silver. Because back then, the dimes were made of silver. If you had 50 of these, if you had 50 dimes, then you had $5, which would equate to back 100 years ago to a $5 gold piece. So don't tell me you can't take a gold piece and buy bread with it and buy food with it, because you absolutely could. Your great-grandparents absolutely knew this reality. They had no normalcy bias like you do, because you've never lived in a world where that takes place. But I can tell you, in the time of the people you once remember as your grandparents or great-grandparents, depending on your age, they knew well that yes, you could take gold and buy bread with it, because there are certain denominations and breakdowns of currency. Actual money, see, there's a difference between money and currency. Not all currency is money, but money, being gold, silver, copper, is currency. If you had 10 of these, you could make a silver dime. If you had 50 silver dimes, is that right? You can make a $5 gold piece, and you can break that into money and buy food with it. That's actually a wheat penny. Wheat penny. Yeah, you're not gonna see it. Oh, there it goes. It focused. We live in a time where people have just completely detached from reality, because I think that's been part of a plan. They want to do that. However, again, the stupidity of it all just leans me to the side that they can't keep it together. They're not smart enough to keep it together. And at this point, collapse is the best thing that we can be hoping for. Oh, what a mess. What a mess this world's going on. I mean, I heard the trans activists canceled their day of vengeance because of safety concerns. Yeah. It might be a little bit dangerous to have a trans day of vengeance if you don't know who you're going up against. All right, we'll leave it at that. I'm not going to go. That'll get me booted out of here real quick, and I got to be careful. All right, hey, check out our merchandise, teespring.com. Links in the description below. And also make sure you check out our ad of Genesis Gold Group. If you're stuck in a 401k and an IRA, that is how you protect yourself. You've worked a long time to save up your wealth. Do something to safeguard that stuff. Keeping it in the stock market, if you have a 401k, it's in paper-denominated assets. Get out. There's only one way from here, and it is down. There's no way. Oh, man. Everyone gets a trophy. All right, guys. See you next time on the Homestead. Bye.
Hello, everybody. I'm Dean Cain, and I am a big fan of American Homestead, as are you, or you wouldn't be seeing this right now. I'm in my backyard, my homestead, where I grow lots of fruit and vegetables. Look, both Zach and I are big fans of history, and we are watching the economic situation in our country just like you are. We absolutely love this country, and it's very difficult for us to watch it struggle financially. Now, did you know that the Constitution of the United States, in Article 1, Section 10, only allows for legal currency to be minted in gold and silver? I bet you didn't. I wasn't aware. But our founders, in their wisdom, they understood that this was the true way to build a solid financial foundation for this new nation. And they were right. They were dead right. These principles rocketed the industry and the economy that made the United States the powerhouse that we now enjoy. However, today, the US dollar, it's not backed up by anything of real value. And here we are. Now, our friends at Genesis Gold Group are helping people stuck in 401ks, IRAs, and anyone else who's watching their hard-earned wealth teeter on the edge of oblivion by moving their money out of risky paper-denominated assets and into physical precious metals like gold and silver. You can touch it. I'm doing it myself. So is my sister. Call Genesis Gold Group today and let them help you develop a plan to safeguard your assets. It's simple. You can call the number on the screen or visit them at genesisgoldgroup.com. And I will see you next time on the Homestead with my dogs and all the fruit that I grow. Look at all this good stuff. You know, we got nectarines. More dogs coming down. If you get cut, we got some aloe vera for you. What I do need, though, is chickens. I need chickens because eggs are about the same price as gold right now. Anyway, see you on the Homestead.